TCHC, and I know that some of these units that are going to come online at some point will be involved with TCHC. And my experience and others has been is that many people with mental health issues and with addiction problems end up just being recycled out of the apartments and out into the street and into the shelters again because there's not the support for them within the housing, and TCHC, as the landlord, is too quick to kick them out. What can this blueprint do, or a future blueprint do, to prevent people from being recycled out of these apartments?
So that was a question about supports, which are absolutely critical for a significant part of the population who need more than just a good, healthy, affordable home, but they need some supports to help them access and maintain their homes in the way you described. And this report actually proposes for the first time that there actually be new funding for supportive housing. What we've had since the housing cuts of the 1990s is a provincial commitment to supportive housing, but actually the commitment doesn't go very far. It doesn't go far enough to, for instance, provide for new brick and mortar, so there aren't actually new supportive units being built. What happens in many communities like Hamilton, Toronto, and elsewhere is that supportive housing providers go into the market and they compete with other low-income people for the existing scarce housing. So we have, within the umbrella here, funding set aside both for brick and mortar for new supportive homes, but also funding to provide for the kinds of supports that you're talking about. There are a lot of very successful models, again, in Toronto and elsewhere, that deal exactly with the situation you've been describing, working with hardest to house tenants, which are labeled, I should say, hardest to house, and providing safe, affordable housing and allowing people to find their feet and to gain some measure of independence with the proper kinds of supports. Here in Toronto, we had some wonderful examples, including the Rupert Pilot project of the early 1990s, which was such a great project. The government gave everyone involved. I was the coordinator of that project. We all got certificates from the government and a big dinner in honor, and then they closed the project down. So that was quite wonderful.